Recording.
All right, good evening, everybody. This is Community Murals Sacramento. My name is Donald Gensler. I'm the Art and Public Places Manager here at the Office of Arts and Culture. And we are thrilled to have you for our third artist talk for Community Murals Sacramento. Tonight, we have Leonardo Moleiro, and he's here to present, both his work before and after his project here in Sacramento, and to share with you the work that he's done as part of Community Murals Sacramento. So really thrilled to be able to do this third presentation. It is being recorded, and this will be on our website on the District 8 page for the Pinell Community Center, where the team's project is. I want to do a quick introduction of Leonardo. Leo defines himself as a graphic cubist and calls his style graphic cubism. He was born in Caracas, Venezuela, currently resides in Los Angeles area, California. In following his passion for the arts, he decided to pursue a career in art and advertising. He studied art, graphic design, advertising, and sociology. And this led him to work in a number of different countries around the world, including Argentina, Colombia, Peru, Mexico, USA, and Venezuela. And I know we're included in USA, but I did want to say we were fortunate enough to have Leo here with us in Sacramento. He's won prizes and international recognitions, both in the work he does in art and fine art, but also in advertising. So really, without any kind of further delay, I'd like to jump in and allow Leo to tell us a bit about his work, and then he's going to jump into a presentation. I'd like us to hold any questions till the end, and if we could all put ourselves on mute. We can keep the camera on if you want, feel free to do that. But if you could put yourself on mute, that would be great. And then we'll just reserve any questions at the end, or you certainly can put questions in the chat as well. All right, so with that, Leo, take the stage.
Hi, thank you for having me for the introduction. Sorry for my, I don't know, this is my, as I tell Donald, for me, it's hard to talk about myself. I prefer when I do some interview, but people ask me about something, but when I have to talk about myself, like in a big presentation, is complicated. But yes, I'm an advertising guy, arts guy, and start to work in and paint from my childhood always, and paint in my house, in my school. I doing murals in my school, in my pre-scholar age. I do my mural in my classroom with my friends in the school, and then my parents always support me as a painter, as a kids. My mom liked when I paint my walls in my room, and my father support me that. And I remember my father friends who say like, how you allow you kids paint the walls inside the room, no? And my father, if you like paint, paint. That is his room. Doesn't, I don't care about that. And for me, that's great, because I always has the energy inside me to want to paint, and for me was amazing. Sorry. And then when I discovered the advertising, I love the advertising. My first time when I looked something with advertising, I fall in love in the advertising career, and then I start to work with a big agency there as an art assistant, and then I love advertising, and that's when I spend my life between advertising and art. I use my art as a one tool who can develop my advertising ideas. And that's why I have maybe more than 25 years in experience in big agencies in different countries such as Argentina, Colombia, Mexico, United States, Europe. And I use that for do my artwork too, to get my network, paint, do my advertising. And then 10 years ago, I decided to left my advertising career beside and keep with my art career, because the people always ask me about more about my artwork. I do some deals with galleries, start to show my artwork around the world, and I have to take the decision between my advertising career or my art career. And that's what's my beginning from as a professional painter, no? Have my studio, have my galleries, and show my artwork, and that's why I start my path to the art. In my beginning, and I start to do my girls as I call her like a fighting woman who fight for better life, for right, for everything. That's word is 91. This is my first big format when I have maybe, I don't know, 20 years old. And then I use here mixed media material, paint, charcoal, oil, asphalt, regular house, indoor paint, flame, everything. I put there everything. That was my first approach on my professional style when I want to become a professional artist. And I remember I did that work in my grandmother's house, because in that age I don't have any studio. I just was a young guy who wants to paint and doesn't have any space, and I use my grandmother's garden backyard as my studio, no? And then that was my first artwork, and I love that artwork because in that moment in Latin America, Latin America, some museums start to do some kind of contest with the young artists in Latin America, called the first young artist content. I sent a picture that artwork. The artwork was accepted in the content, and I won the second place in that content. No, and for me as a young artist, that's my first art, my first approach, and then wow, and received that prize like I remember like today when I have the interview, the TV, and talk about my inspiration for that. And that artwork, and keep working in my ladies, and I spent maybe, I don't know, maybe 5 years painting girls like that one in different materials, in vinyls and canvas, in wood, I don't know, with oil, with asphalt, mixing with gasoline. Actually, that one has gasoline, has oil, has everything. I call that the Liberty, because it's the Liberty here, and that's a big format. It's a big format. And that artwork was my first. That's 94. And then that was the first artwork I used to ever sell in my life. It was my first client. My first client who asked me about the artwork. I don't know how it cost. artwork, and I never no idea how much can I ask for my artwork, and then that's one a private collection, and I lose money because I don't know, maybe he paid, I don't know, $100 for one for that artwork, and that's my first sale. And then another one is when I start to mix between my artwork and the idea who that girls are inside the ring fighting like a kick, like a boxing, and the ladies talk about life, about hope, about marriage, about girlfriends, boyfriends, about children's, about women's life, and I love it. I love it. I love my age in the when I paint that kind of the artwork. And sometimes when I am in my studio, I feel the energy to paint again my ladies. But that's one of my favorite. It's a lady who lost her boyfriend, and she's down in the floor, the ring, like a knockout, and asking about life. And when I forgot you, maybe I wrote that in Spanish, and maybe the translation is, when I forgot you, when I forgot you, I gonna stand up from here, and maybe I don't remember you more, something like that. And that's one of friend, super close friends of mine, lost his boyfriend, broke up with her, and she was super sad, crying, and I remember my friend and try to do something like that, because I love the I was raised for 6 women, like my mom, my aunt, my grandmother, and I always paint girls as a humans with a lot of power in example in my life. You know, I have my girls influence in my whole career, and it's gonna be my process. I love to draw like today, always drawing girl, ladies, and this is my another phase, as I tell here, my another phase is my characters. I start to do characters maybe 20 years ago. I do my first drunker, my drunk man. It's a kind of word I call open bar, all you can drink. It's a space where these guys came to drink and get drunk, and I did like my word, the one word there, and actually I tell Donald today I'm working on with Digitunes in it's a animation company. I start to do my one TV show, animation show about these guys, that drinker guys, the open bar, as I call. And I have my meeting today, my first meeting today, to try to put that characters in one short animation movie, and to show to some neighbor who might show interest in my characters. It's my first studio down, and that's my first when I don't know, one guy from Absolute Vodka saw my drunkers, and he asked me about I can do something for vodka Absolute in that age, maybe 2004. And I did something for them, and they love it. They put in the office and the IO in the absolute office. And I did one book about the cocktails book with my paint. And that's why I start to do my guys that are always drinking and fighting and playing pokers and cheating and doing stuff with prostitution, bad stuff in the bar. It's an adult content, but I love it, and I keep working on it. That's my guys. That is original artwork in a mixed media. There's a big format like maybe that one is a maybe 60 by 50. 60 by 50 is a big format in canvas. I enjoy too much when I do my guys, because for me it's like dreaming and floating in the bar. That maybe has something with my life, because my father was alcoholic, drink a lot, and maybe that is my influence to do something like people like floating in the floor, and I enjoy it a lot doing my drinkers. That guy is playing poker, and one guy cheating another guy, and they start to fight with a knife, like a small town, doesn't have a law, doesn't have nothing, everybody have to do everything, and it's a kind of crazy world, but it's in a bar. Everything happened in one bar. The bar have hotel rooms, different salons, different bars, dancing, everything happened there. I love it. That is a mix between my current artwork, my old passionate artwork, and something with figurative stuff like superheroes. I did that maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when I tried to get my pass through my figurative art and my graphic cubist art. That's like my examples, my exercise, when I try to do something more, more combine my shapes more carefully, and that's more free. Actually, that one, the first one here in the left side, was my first exercise. That became my current artwork. I work that one with a really nice and really important art curator from Brazil. She drive me to that kind of style. She showed me art from Kandinsky or from Mike Chagall for my inspiration art, and we worked together for a couple months in my new style, developing my new style. Both that's both the up, right and left are for me are super important. I'm keep it because that was my evolution. Do my figurative stuff, even my ladies, my fighters, with my new style, my own style. Wow, everything happened here. That's Milagros. Milagros is one of the biggest curator from Latin America. She was a director of the art in the French Sorbonne University. and she's PhD, and has a big name in the fine arts from Latin America, and work with her for maybe 4 years, 5 years, and put that picture there because that was one super important show in one museum in Miami, and I was invited to that show. For me, it was super important to that museum invite me to that big show. And she went from me with me because, wow, she was super proud because she helped me for years in my work. And when I achieved that invitation, wow, we together went to the place to enjoy the show, and that's my piece for that show. I call the ugly, the movie, the Clint Eastwood movie, the ugly, the bad, and do you remember, Donald, that movie? The Clint Eastwood movie, the
good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yes, that's I call that name because that's our, for me, it means like the society, the religion, the sex, the corporate freedom. As a Venezuelan country who lost the freedom 20 years ago, for me it's super important to always think about freedom to speech, freedom to do my stuff, sex, religion, TV, network, and try to put everything there, and do my artwork beside my art direction. I'm work here as a artist, and then as an art director and advertiser guy. I put everything here: my advertising knowledge, my art direction knowledge, and the graphic design, and my fine art knowledge, and put everything here. I use that picture. It's a famous photographer picture from New York. He gave me the picture as my friend. He gave me the picture, and he told me, Leo, use the picture as a inspiration, and do it everything whatever you do with the picture, and put that idea there, and was a very nice word. It's a big one. It's a maybe 660 by 50. It's a big one. It's in wood. It's really heavy because it's wood with the resin, and it's a big one artwork. And then that artwork now is in Austin, Texas. In in a private building in the lobby. That keep with I'm keep with my mix between my shapes, my graphic tubings, and the figurative stuff like some kind of the social protest about the war, and that's I did that maybe 5 years ago. That's Ukraine in Chernobyl. And then because I'm spent in 2006, I spent 6 months in Ukraine. And then I take pictures around some places. And now 5 years ago, I started to do my mixed media with the social stuff, with the political stuff, with the marketing, advertising, and do that artwork. I showed that artwork in the Venice Biennale in 2017 in Palazzo Bembo. I have my space there when I show some of my artwork, and that's was one of my artwork there. And I love it because it's a mix between my own style and then my illustration stuff, and some kind of, I enjoy too much when I can use my advertising knowledge as an art director with my artwork, my fine art knowledge too. It's for me super cool when I can do that in the same way. It's too much work because it's two words in one side, and it's too much work. It's a details. It's like the clown. It's like super figurative and with details. And another one is abstract and pictures, and I have to print it out. I have to check it out. I have to. But I love it. That's my cartoons. I like to do my cartoons as a posters, advertised poster with message, and then I love it when I have my meeting, my stuff. My current work, that one, I like to show my current work. I don't know. The truth is, I don't know how I get that kind of artwork. Okay. I just one day I was drawing in my studio, and then I start to do that kind of shape in the girls, in the faces, and I start to cut something. I put eyes and do that kind of stuff. I like it. I watch it with my paper, and wow, I like that. And then I remember, like, I told, like, okay, let me do something with my hands, free hands, and then let me scan and put it in my computer to try to figure out how finish some kind of the shape, because in the computer it's faster than and then when I saw the result, the final result, I said, wow, I love it. I love that different. And then I start to do that style. Maybe I have, I don't know, 7 years doing that. My style, I keep with my style because I think that I find my own style in that artwork. And then that happened with the galleries, with people. Maybe I talk with people who saw my artwork, people even I don't know, and saw my artwork and say, you are the guy who painted that artwork? No, yes. And say, okay, wow, yes. And then for me it's super good news, because find for an artist, the hard stuff is find your own style, your own sign, your own style. And for me, I think I get my style. I love it because it's a colorful, it's a happy, has a nice vibe. It's something like I can play with different shapes, a color. I can do something figurative, something abstract. It's a mix between. It's a word. I know I met one lady 6 months ago. It's a super weird meeting. That lady is a native Navajo native in Arizona, who is like a boss in one tribe there. And I don't know what happened, because it was my first meeting with her. She doesn't know about me, about nothing. Even she doesn't know I'm an artist. And then when I start to talk with her, because I want I with my wife, doing stuff with my wife and her work. The lady tell me, can you show me your artwork? And say, what? Can you show me your artwork? My wife watched me like, how she said, no, you are artist. And I don't know. She say, I don't know, but I want to look your artwork. Okay. When I show my artwork in my phone, she say, you know, you are painting ETs, extraterrestrial guys. That guy is no girls, no, it's a people who live in another planet, and they are trying to communication with you in some point. As you have some kind of connection with that people, and that's why you start to paint that kind of the shapes. And for sure, you don't know why you start to paint that. And I'm saying, yes, you're true. It's true. I don't know how I start why and how you start to do the kind of shape and everything there. Well, if you say that, okay, I'm believing you, and I'm okay. I'm that's another planet's people, and I'm like it. I'm feel okay with that, and it's okay. I'm enjoy it. As someone's magazine here in LA. It was my first show here in LA. They has a big magazine here who put different good artists from in LA together in one show, and they printed out a one book, one magazine book, everything. Was my first show. Actually, that's what my first show here in LA. My first big show here in LA for me was a super, wow, cool, because new in LA, big city, and my expectation, I don't know what's going on with me here. And then I received the invitation in this nice magazine with nice curators, a nice gallery. Wow, for me, it was like a dream come true. Stay here in LA and have the opportunity to show my artwork in that big site with big names, artist names beside me. Was super nice. That is artwork in the private collection. I do a lot of artwork for private collection, houses and buildings and private stuff, hotels, and that is different kind of work there. My showing, one of my show in Asia and China. That show is important because I won the first prize in one award there. The Commission on Art, that city is Nanjing. It's a big city next to Shanghai. And they invited me to show my artwork there, and the community, the art commission in the city, give me one nice award there. That's what the day when they set an auditorium when they announced my prize there. I was there. I received my award there in China and spent 1 month there, working with the museum and with the people, and it was a nice experience. That was in maybe 2016, 2017. I don't know, maybe. Cohan, the brand, and work with different brands. My first brand was Jeep, the Jeep Wrangler. I did with that guys, and the catalog, the book inside for the Jeep, and one art direction for videos, but just for the internal communication inside the Jeep, the corporation, the Chrysler Corporation. And I do that one for that's a mural in Miami, the big mural. That's a commissioner for the guy who called hand guy. They use the mural for launch a new product. They do social media, video, print, and everything. That was actually was my first mural in Miami. So it was a big one mural. Playboy is a brand who I worked a lot with there. I did too much stuff for Playboy US, Playboy Latin America, Playboy Mexico. And that was the first magazine when the Playboy allowed use art mixed with the ladies, because never they do that, never just always ladies, no, nothing more. And that was my the first artwork mixing with the ladies, and that kind. And that's the Playboy book. It was I am the I think it's just 3 Latin American artists who collaborate with the Playboy book and this edition, and it was a pleasure for me to work with that brand. And now I'm in conversation with Dave to do something more here in the office, the Playboy office, because they have 3 hours for me inside the meeting rooms with a playmate. And when I'm talking with the guy, because I don't want to paint more figurative girls. I'm doing more this constructive stuff, and we are talking about that because they don't feel too much good if I change the woman shapes. And well, I don't want to paint more girls as a girls, like a perfect, and maybe we can close something or maybe not. But we are in conversation. Made in California, summer 2010. That's when the pandemic came. Everybody's closed. Everything's closed. I have my show there in the La Brea City Museum. It's a wonderful, beautiful museum there. I have my work there. We have we can do the opening. We can do everything there, just like a virtual walking through. But when the pandemic was done, everything was okay. They opened the museum, and the show was running for 2 weeks, and then I won the prize, the first prize, the People's Choice. It was my artwork was selection with the People's Choice. It was the first time in 35 years when the people voting for an artwork. And one my surprise, that was the artwork who the people love it. And now I'm super happy because I love it. I love the place. I love the gallery. I love the museum. It's a big one. And wow, for me, it was a really, really good news. Get my artwork there and have my prize there. And was a really, really nice experience. That's my studio, my good work. I do everything by myself, with my saw, with my tools, and cutting everything. Wow, it's too much work. That one, the down, and the right down, the big one. Wow. I did that twice because when I finished the first one, that fell in my easel and broke. And the client was waiting for the piece for 1 month. And then when I have to call the client to say, you know, the piece is what broke, let me do another one again. And the guy got super mad, and you are joking with me and waiting for 1 month. I need my money back. You are not professional. And I was super bad and have to fly to New Jersey to meet with the guy in person and apologize. What's my fault? Show the picture and look everything. And the guy, okay, I let me the piece, but you have to give me 20% discount. Okay. But I went, the piece was done. He loved it. And he bought me another one a couple months later. And that's my first approach to my sculpture. I'm doing my first schedule for my sculpture. I working in my sculpture. I'm trying to understand my work in 3 dimensions, you know, because I handle with my work. I can do my work super cool in 2 dimensions in my canvas, but I have to understand how work my work in 3 dimensions, you know, and then I'm working on it and spending time doing my schedule, looking for any size, back, front, up, down, and that's one of my first approach. I didn't like it, but that's an example who I start to work in my stuff, in my sculpture. That is like so small, and but now I'm doing the sculpture. I working cutting. I have to buy my laser cutting by myself, the small one first to practice, because when I spend too much time and money in doing to the providers to do the samples, I prefer to buy my own cutting, laser cutting, small, and cut small pieces. Like try to do something small and understand what's going on with the shape, with the sculpture, and then work with the studio, with the metal mechanic studio. I have one in Miami. They has big one studio there. They work with the metal, and they work with different artists doing sculpture, engineers, you know, because the most important thing in a sculpture, like something like that, is the security and the engineer part. They work with engineers who know how is the behavior with the metal, the heavy, the windy factor, the everything. Now I'm working hard in that and get everything perfect to develop my first sculpture. My tables, and love it. I do my tables, my coffee tables, and because I'm using photo and my graphic stuff, my printer, my graphic design, my art direction stuff, my advertising knowledge, and put together and bought furniture in IKEA and reassemble and sample again, and became a really, really nice piece of art. And then everybody loved it, their pieces, but take me too much time to do it, and I'm not doing more. It's too many work. it's too much. It's too hard to I have to send it, to do it, to print it, to pay, to that. Wow, it's a nightmare. But I love it. The final product, I love it. That's my China stuff. My billboard there in Nanjing was 2016. 2016. That's the best quality culture and creative award in Nanjing, China, and for Diplomatic Association. That's here in Pasadena, a big format mural. That's in Pomona, California. That's a big one mural. That's in Pittsburgh, no, Philadelphia. It's a hotel. It's the new hotel, and they pick one artist per floor. And they have 10 floors, and they have 10 artists. They did one book about or artwork, and in the book you can watch the artwork in the building. And we have one floor to do artwork in the walls, in the rooms, and in the halls, in the alleys and everything. And was a nice work. I love it because I work together with the architecture, with the engineers, with the people who develop the building, security stuff, liability stuff. I have to back and go there many times to make sure everything is okay there. And they do one big party to the inauguration, for the opening. And was nice time there in Pittsburgh, no, Philadelphia. That's my friends in Sacramento, California. It's my last mural, my recently mural. I love it. I love it because when I saw for the first time the building, I don't know how's gonna look my hour there because the building was empty. Everything was like a wow. But when I start to put the colors and I drive through the highway to the way, and I can realize how look the building with colors and with the shape, with everything. Wow, for me it was super nice because wow, Leo, nice work. It's like you try and you can watch the colors, everything there was super nice. My team was super nice team. And I love it. I love it the time because we did that in 1 week. It's a super quick time and super clean work. No, I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you. It's another work here in Austin, Texas. That's in Brazil. That's a nice work because in Brazil, it's one museum in Fortaleza. And that museum, the curators want to do some show about la Mona Lisa. La Mona Lisa from Da Vinci. And then the museum invite too many artists from Latin America to do one Mona Lisa in one side, to do one itinerary, one expo in different cities in Brazil, different museums. And wow, one of the ladies one day called me to Leo, do you like to do something here in Brazil, in one city, when we're gonna show the Mona Lisa show, and we love you, Mona Lisa, and are you available to do something here? For sport? Yes, let me know and do it. And I just in that project I can paint. I send them my artwork, and they contract one company to paint that one there, because was so many, it's too big, the building, so many stuff, the liability and stuff, too many dangers, everything there about the building, everything. And they decide to pay for one company who put my hour there, and just want to watch everything, take care about everything. It's gonna be okay. I spent 1 week there, and wow, it's an amazing project. 2016 or 2005, 2016 or 2015. Yes, Brazil.
Just a few more minutes, Leo.
Yes. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. That's in Miami. That's someone, the Callahan's mural in Miami. That's in Sonoma. No, not Sonoma. That's Pasadena, California. It's one of the most recently mural. Pittsburgh. I love it too. Working with Pittsburgh City. That's some nice artwork in different kind of formats and material and mixed medias. That's my collaboration when the brand, like furniture brand, one of the biggest South American furniture brand. That is in their office in showroom in Miami, and did the small collection, the private collection for the brand. That's with Bombay Sapphire on show, my second show here in LA. Santa Clarita, Pasadena, Pittsburgh, North Carolina, por ahí, some kind of PR and magazines and thank you. Any question?
Awesome. Thank you, Leo. Thank you. Yeah, no, it's great to see the whole arc of your work and where you are currently. And so thank you for sharing all of that. I have a couple questions, but does anybody have any questions before I jump in? Great. So we just have a couple minutes. I'm going to stop at 6:35, but
okay.
So Leo, I was just wondering on those shaped canvases, they are cut wood though, right? You prefer to work on wood? Or do you ever shape like a canvas and stretch fabric across the wood?
No, I'm preferring working wood. In wood. You know what happened with the problem with the wood is that the client normally doesn't want to pay for the delivery because it's too heavy, it's too expensive. Because normally working wood is too heavy.
Right.
To carry on is heavy, and then when the client pay for the delivery, almost is too much money. And normally the client doesn't like to pay too much money for delivery, and then that's why I'm trying to do more stuff in canvas, because I'm rolling in the tube and send it cheaper way, and wood is complicated.
Yeah, no, but I think the shaped pieces are really interesting. So I mean, I understand why you would, and if you have a little jigsaw, you can kind of cut out, all kinds of birch or whatever kind of nice wood you want to paint on. But it's nice to have a hard surface like that sometimes. The reason I asked also is because sometimes canvas just doesn't feel quite the same, especially for muralists. You're used to painting on a wall, and so the hardness of the wood is actually quite nice.
Yes, I have my tool, my orbital saw, my table, my cutting, everything. I have my wood in my studio. I do my stuff, everything. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Actually, I have to do more now because I have a show in New York in a couple months, and my goal is to just wood, just cutting artwork. Nothing, no canvas, no fabric, no.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. It was really interesting also to see your, you know, the kind of arc of your work as you're here today, you know, from more figurative work that then kind of evolved into this abstraction. And so much so that like right now you have a client that you were talking about that really wanted you to do more figurative work, but that you were you just feeling the need to kind of stay with some level of abstraction.
Yes.
And that just feels like right for you right now.
Yes.
Which I find really, really interesting. I mean, I think it's great, obviously, to be engaged in a kind of figurative work, but it's interesting how, you know, you've been driven through your career thus far to make some, you know, just adjust and change. And like you said, you found a kind of style that feels right to you, whether you're connecting with extraterrestrials or not, I'm not sure, but it could be. So
I don't know.
but those kind of stories are
It's a weird story, but
yeah, no, they're terrific. Yeah.
And my wife was really.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So, and then just to kind of finish out in the last couple of minutes here, you know, could you talk a little bit about for you mural painting? You seem very comfortable on. I mean, you do a lot of gallery studio work and gallery work, which you've shown us, which I think was great because we hadn't seen that. But just talk about it. Maybe it stems back. We don't have much time, but it stems back from your time as a kid painting on your walls and everything. And you just talk a little bit about murals to you and why you do like to do murals in particular.
Wow, because I love connection with people. I love go outside and paint, and the people ask me about the paint. Everybody to walk through the area, look the paint, the artwork, and people ask me, the collaboration with people. As example, in Pittsburgh, everybody loves the artwork. Some kind of restaurant open the doors and they tell me, Leo, if you need something inside the restaurant, restroom, or food, or everything, just let me know. I love your work. I love the colors, and I love. I'm an artist. I love that connection with people, and if people can go to the gallery to buy expensive work, bring my artwork to the city with people there, for me it's amazing because the connection with people in the street is wow. Somebody know, but it's okay, you know. Somebody pass to the artwork and say, I don't like it. Okay, it's okay. Well, I love it. It's okay. You know, but that kind of connection, that for me as an artist is important. That's why I love do mural.
Well, Leonardo Moleiro, thank you. I think that's a perfect way to end it for Community Murals Sacramento, our third installment in our artist speaker series, our artist talk. Thank you for being here, Leo, and we'll see you again soon, okay?
Yes, thank you for having me, and thank you for the opportunity, and see you soon.
Okay, bye-bye. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
I'm going to stop the recording.